I want to talk through some ways that you can help to avoid conflict. Sometimes things can deteriorate to the extent where you have such a bad relationship with somebody in the office that your stomach turns over even if you see them walking down the office towards you.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be like this. There are ways that you can build bridges with these people and smooth things across so that you don't have to have this conflict going on. Just because they've told the boss that you've left work early doesn't mean that you should tell him that they've been stealing pencils. Even if they do say something like this, is it what you really want to do, to resort to that level, to do tit for tat? Perhaps by thinking about what it is about that person that is really upsetting you. Sometimes we project onto other people feelings that we have because they remind us of somebody from our past. Sometimes it might be a teacher that wasn't particularly nice to you at school, or a family member that you didn't get on with, and there's just something about that person that reminds you of this person from the past. And what you're actually doing is projecting onto that person your emotions and your feelings from the past, rather than what this person has actually done in the here and now. And it can be quite an eye-opener when you realise that actually what that person is representing to you isn't as bad as you think it is, and that it is something that you can actually deal with from the past and leave behind, and deal with each issue as and when you come across it. If you're talking to somebody, it's useful if you're both on the same level. So if that person's sitting, you sit as well. If you're standing over them, that can make them feel quite intimidated. And conversely, if they're standing and you're sitting, you might feel quite intimidated. So stand up if they're standing and strike a similar pose to them. This can be quite useful. If somebody wants to talk to you about something, do make sure that you give them the time. Even if you haven't got the time there and then, make sure that you allocate a time for them and say something like, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now, but can we arrange to talk at whatever time is a convenient time for you, and set up an actual appointment. Because otherwise it can result in that person feeling that you're always avoiding them and that they don't get the opportunity to say what they want to say, and then they just start an argument with you right at that place and at that moment, which isn't always useful and convenient.